What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with a quick preview of the Solstice event for Destiny 2 in 2022. Of course, as always, this is our summer event for the game, and it'll be kicking off as part of Season 17. So we're going to do a quick preview right here of some of the rewards that we'll be able to earn, a new Solstice weapon, as well as its origin trait, of course Solstice armor, and some changes that Bungie are making to how we'll acquire and upgrade that stuff this year. Plus we'll recap the new event card system, some of the rewards we'll be able to pick up from that, as well as the Bonfire bash activity, and new cosmetics such as ornaments and Eververse items, plus a breakdown of the Eververse schedule for the event this year. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Also be sure to check out our new partner at Gamer Supps for some epic performance gaming drinks. And if you use code Houndish at checkout, you can get 10% off, so the link for that is down below. And starting out, we are waiting for an official reveal for Solstice this year, although Bungie have already given us some of the key details for the event. And since the season is kind of calming down at this point, a lot of players are looking towards the next bit of content we'll see. And so Solstice 2022 will kick off on July 19th at the weekly reset, and it's going to run for 4 weeks ending on Tuesday, August 16th, which should be about a week away from when we'll get the Season 18 drop. Of course, Bungie had said that they'll be adding origin traits for event weapons, and so Solstice will see a unique weapon for this year, and while we can't currently see the stats and archetype for the weapon, we will be seeing a new hand cannon, and we can see that it's got that Solstice skin on it, sharing the model with the better devils from back in the day. And Josh Hunt from DestinySets.com shared the origin trait for the weapon, which is called Dreamwork, and once per reload, assists or assisted final blows partially refill the weapon from reserves, potentially overflowing the magazine. Which actually is a pretty cool team bonus, and might help to make assist kills feel a little bit more satisfying, and so we'll have to wait for a bit more information on that weapon. But of course we will also see new armor sets, and at the moment we only have the icons for the armor pieces as shared by Destiny Bulletin and Elliot on Twitter, but this will be the phosphorescent prism set for hunters, the scintillant prism set for warlocks, and the candescent set for titans. The other thing that Bungie have said about armor for the event this year is that one of the biggest changes we'll notice is that we'll only upgrade one set of Solstice armor throughout the event, and so while we can get multiple instances of a helmet, for example, upgrading armor will allow us to reroll its stats, and the stat potential of the armor will be shared across the drops. And so we will be able to tune the quality of the stats on the armor pieces in a new way, which is interesting. And quite a few of the systems for the event will be guided by the new event card system, and Bungie say we're introducing the feature for Solstice. And in much the same way that seasonal challenges introduce an easy to understand list of goals that you can complete in a season, the event card does the same thing for annual events. And for the Solstice event card, points of interest will include event challenges, seals and titles, and then unique event rewards. They say that every event card will be available free to all players and can be accessed by interacting with Eva Levante, and the card and associated challenges can be accessed for the entirety of events before disappearing once the corresponding event ends. And so inside of that card, for event challenges, we'll see objectives that players can complete to earn rewards. So there'll be specific things we can do to grab event shaders, emblems, gear, but also event tickets. And our understanding is that those event tickets will also be used to gain access to certain drops. But also, for event seals and titles, starting with Solstice, Bungie say each Destiny event will come with a new seal that players can complete as well as guild, and completing the seal will be as easy as completing all of the event challenges on the card, but guilding event seals will require completing additional triumphs that will only become available once the standard seal has been completed. And guilding for the titles will last an entire year until those events return. Plus Bungie say on top of individual event seals, we are going to see a new multi-event seal as well. And so basically there'll be a certain number of event challenges associated with Solstice, but then through the course of the year as we get other events, there'll be challenges added for those. And by completing all of them across the course of a year, we'll be able to earn the multi-event seal as well. So that's an additional layer. But the final thing to note on event cards will be the upgraded event card. And this is a version of the card that will have additional drops available, which will cost 1,000 silver and immediately grant players access to an exotic rewards bundle. And so there's an exotic emote, ghost shell, legendary shader, and emote, as well as a ghost hologram exotic ship and Transmat effect. And one of those upgrade rewards right here will be the Sunny Vacation shell that we can see on screen. And so in a lot of ways, Bungie is simplifying how the events are going to work in terms of objective. If you're wondering what to do, basically check out the event card and it's going to have a list of different things. But then there's that additional layer for folks who want to spend silver to acquire some unique items. Moving on, before we talk about some of the cosmetic drops, to touch on the gameplay. Bungie say another new feature will be an activity in the European aerial zone called Bonfire Bash, and Guardians will be building and stoking what can only be described as paracausal bonfires, while the enemies of Summer Fun will be attempting to crash the party and extinguish them. And so they say they've made it easier to traverse the EAZ, and we're essentially going to be playing a sort of zone control, if you like, in PvE, whereby building and stoking the flame we're kind of capturing the zone. The more of that we can do in different locations around the map, obviously the better we will score, but equally those zones will be attacked by enemies and ultimately lost to them if you can't stay on top of it. And it sounds potentially like it could be an interesting bit of gameplay there, so give us your thoughts about that. And next, let's speak about cosmetic items and Eververse drops for the event. So some new things we're going to see include some exotic weapon ornaments. So there is Gilded Honors, a new ornament for Forerunner. These couple of weapon ornaments will be sold for silver and bright dust, and they're going to be available for silver first. So if you don't want to spend the silver on them, bear in mind they aren't exclusively silver. And the Gilded Honors ornament will sell for bright dust in week 11, which will be the 2nd of August. Then there's an ornament called Splendid Vidua for the Wither Horde. Once again, it has that pretty cool kind of Solstice skin. And this one will sell for bright dust in week 12, which is the 9th of August. And then via Destiny Bulletin, we can see a few of the other items. So these will come up in the Eververse store for both currencies. And we've got things like the Sweet Sprinkle Shell, a donut ghost right there, as well as the Sea Shell, which naturally is covered in shells. Plus we can see a couple of interesting sparrows here, one that kind of looks like a crab, and another that looks a bit like a go-kart. So as always, there will be lots of interesting items. And next, let's do a quick breakdown of Solstice event items and the rotation that we should see in Eververse according to todayindestiny.com. This is primarily focusing on returning items for the event, so if there are any that you're looking out for, in week 1 of Solstice on the 19th of July, we'll see the Breathe In exotic emote for 3250 bright dust. We'll also see the Beach Ball Transman effects, as well as the Tangerine Gloss shader, and the exotic emote, the Festival Dance. Once again, that will be 3250 bright dust. There'll also be a new legendary emote called Guarding Glaive. And then we'll see the Jubilant exotic Ghost Shell for 2850 bright dust, the Blacklight Razor exotic Sparrow for 2500 bright dust, plus the Soul Piercer exotic Ship for 2000 bright dust, and the Beach Header weapon ornament for the Merciless will come up as well for 1250 bright dust, as well as the Buried Treasure projection. And then in Solstice Week 2, which is the 26th of July, we're going to see the Tropicausal exotic Ghost Shell here for 2850 bright dust. We'll also see the Sandcastle effects Transman effect, as well as the Pomegranate Gloss shader. And then the Flag on the Play exotic emote, that'll be 3250 bright dust, as well as the Teamwork Dance legendary emote, which is 700 bright dust. We're also going to see the return of the Predator Sunshell, that will be 2850 bright dust, plus the Micro Mini Exotic Sparrow for 2500 bright dust, the Ori Dawn Exotic Ship for 2000 bright dust, and the Grey Nitrate weapon ornament for Soros Regime, which will be 1250 bright dust. The 3rd week of Solstice, which is the 2nd of August, we'll see the Cable Skipper exotic emote for 3250 bright dust, as well as the Raging Lepus weapon ornament for Jade Rabbit, that's 1250 bright dust, but we'll also see the Shocking Entrance Transman effect, as well as the Oiled Algae Solstice shader. Then there'll be the Power Rising exotic emote, another Solstice one right there, which is 3250 bright dust. The Silly Handshake multiplayer emote will return, and then we'll see the Boya Trap exotic Ghost Shell there is 2850 bright dust, plus the Summertide Kite exotic Ship for 2000 bright dust. This is the week where we'll also see the Gilded Honors weapon ornament for Forerunner at 1250 bright dust. And then finally, in week 4 of Solstice, the 9th of August, we'll get the Sweet Sprinkle Shell, another one of the new ones there for 2850 bright dust, as well as the Splendid Vidua weapon ornament for Wither Horde. So you'll have to wait for the final week to get it for bright dust, but it'll be 1250. Plus we'll see the Baroque Entrance Transmut effect, and the No Fair legendary emote, plus the Seashell exotic ghost for 2850. So bear in mind, quite a few of those newer items are going to be up for bright dust in the later weeks of the event. But finally, we have the Argentate Dust exotic Ship for 2000 bright dust, and the Sudden Squall exotic ornament for Sturm at 1250 bright dust. And so there we go, guys. That is the breakdown of everything we currently know about Solstice this year. We'll get a trailer and possibly a few extra tips in the TWAB in a couple of weeks' time, but otherwise a lot of it will kind of be left to explore in the game. So hopefully this video has done a good job of rounding up pretty much most of what we'll know before the launch. And so if you've enjoyed it, a rating below really does help us out. Let us know if you're interested and excited to jump into Solstice this year in the comments section, and feel free to get subscribed to the channel if you want to be kept up to date with more Destiny content. But Otherwise, for now, I appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you have an awesome day.